Hello again, everyone. In this session, we want to look at the delegation of zones and how this is beneficial in the whole DNS scenario. Now, let us look at our example on the screen. We have Contoso, which is the main DNS zone. And under Contoso, we have West, South, and East. So West is a child domain of Contoso. South and East are also children domains of Contoso. In Contoso itself, we have a DNS server. Within that DNS server, we created a number of zones. We have a zone for Contoso itself. Then we have another DNS zone for West Contoso. We have one for South Contoso, and we have one for East Contoso. Now, think about it. If you have one administrator in Contoso, that administrator then is responsible for all of those zones. And the DNS server itself is responsible for looking after those zones. What if we decided to divide the traffic load for that large zone into smaller zones? What we could do is we could place DNS servers in West, South, and East. And what we could then do is to delegate the zone that now exists in Contoso, which would be the West zone. We could delegate responsibility for that zone to the DNS server in West Contoso. And then we could do the same with South and the same with East. This would allow for a reduction in DNS network traffic. Because if there was no DNS server in West, then the client query, in order to be resolved, would have to go to the DNS server in Contoso. So if we put a DNS server in Contoso, then that DNS server can resolve the queries from West itself instead of going across the line to Contoso. How do we go about creating this delegation of zones? Let us take a look. We're going to click on Tools, DNS. We want to double click here on Forward Lookup Zones. And we want to double click on the Contoso.com zone. Then we want to get to the properties of the Contoso.com zone. So we right click on Contoso and we click on New Delegation. And we have Welcome to the New Delegation wizard. And this wizard helps you delegate authority for a subdomain to a different zone. So we are taking the West zone, for example, and we're giving authority to the DNS server in the West domain because we want this DNS server to be authoritative for the West zone. So we want to click on Next, and we want to specify the name of the DNS domain we want to delegate. So we're going to type West. And you can see here westcontoso.com, and we know it's a child of Contoso. If you want to click on Next, and then we want to specify the name or IP address of the DNS server we want to have host the delegated zone. So we want to click on Add, and we want to type the name here. And we're going to, for our lab purposes, we're going to use server 1. .contoso.com. We want to click on Resolve. Then we want to click on OK. So we're going to select server 1 and we click on Next. And we have completed the new delegation wizard that allowed us to delegate that zone. We want to click on Finish. And that is the process that we take when we want to perform a zone delegation. Again, the benefits that we can derive from DNS delegation would be that we would reduce DNS traffic. Another benefit would be the provision of redundancy of zones. And we can also use DNS delegation to supply secondary servers to reduce the load on primary servers. This is the end of our session on DNS delegation, and I want to thank you for listening.